I'm Andrew Jenkinson, the Caravan Expert, and welcome to my Caravan channel. I do reviews on touring caravans, motorhomes, park homes, holiday caravans, and one of my favourites, classic touring caravans. So please watch my videos and feel free to subscribe and also to leave a comment. Thank you very much. Well, I'm here at Golden Castle Caravans in their splendid showroom where they sell, of course, brand new tourers from Venus, Luna, Swift and Coachman, and also they sell Swift motorhomes. Now, I'm not just here to look at their new and used stock, or they have a great selection of used tourers. I'm actually here to look at this little tourer, because this is a Stephens West Cygnet 9 from 1969. Now you may say, what's it doing in this here showroom? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's Chris Howells. Now Chris Howells used to work in the workshops at Golden Castle and he graduated up to sales. And one day, Chris, being a bit of a classic fan, especially of the Austin A35s, he'll tell you all about them, inside and out, he had a customer come in and they wanted a cover for their caravan. Now Chris, being as helpful as ever, told them about the cover, what they needed, and they told him about their caravan, which was this little beauty. They'd had it from new. It was stored under cover, and it was now having to go outside, hence buying the cover. So, after a long conversation, what happened next? Chris was given the caravan. Result, they wanted it to go to a good home. So I'm here today to have a look at it. I'm going to take you through it. We're going to go back to 1969. So, wallow in a bit of nostalgia and let's go back to the end of the swinging 60s. Well, here I am, just at the back of the Cygnet. What I love is this little Cygnet nameplate there, and it says Cirencester, England. So no mistaking, it's British made. But look at this, look at the road lights for the number plate, a little light here. And these light fittings were very standard for the day and used on caravans for many years. The triangles would not have been a standard fit because it wasn't until 1972 that caravans actually had to have triangles fitted by law or trailers. So those have obviously been retrofitted to keep it in compliance. But you've got a biggish window at the back here because that enabled, with that window at the front, a good view through. That was always a sign of a good caravan design. Because the fact is, you didn't have mirrors, you just saw through from the car at the front through the internal mirror, and that was seen as being satisfactory. Now, I said to you about that toilet room, and this is it. That's the window. It's frosted. So that tells us that's the toilet room in the corner. Again, this was a very popular layout and a design that was used by many manufacturers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside, because inside it really is fascinating. It really is a time capsule. Nothing has changed. Chris has put some nice crockery out there in keeping with the 60s. So let's go and have a quick cup of tea. Well, just before I go inside, I just want to show you something. Now this little trick I'm going to show you now is what all caravan manufacturers used to use, because when the loo was in the corner like this, obviously this is only a very small compartment, and don't forget there's no cassette loos or anything like that. They were a very basic chuck it, throw it away toilet. So watch this. You open the door like that, and then that doubled like that. That's your toilet compartment. Now what you must remember, of course, is this door had to be obviously shut and also locked from the inside, otherwise somebody could have had a bit of a nasty surprise on either side should the door not be locked. So that was the way they did the toilet compartment to make it bigger back then. And also, before I just go in again, put the lock back on, is these. I forgot to mention rubbing stakes. Most caravan manufacturers put these on, and what you had to do each year, which was a bit of a pain, you had to keep these varnished up because they soon started to look terrible, and they would rot eventually after a couple of years. So you had to keep those, sand those down at winter time and give them a varnish up. And that was so you didn't damage your caravan. So if you went down somewhere, you're pushing it into a tight storage space or whatever, it hit those and not your caravan body. Right, enough of that, let's get inside. Well, here I am inside, and what a time capsule. It's fantastic. Everything is pretty original. You've got the gas lights at the top there. There's a fluorescent light up here, but those have been added at some stage over the years. But Chris, being Chris, is going to get those taken out because he wants it as original as possible. And I don't blame him. But this is a very simple tourer. But back in the day, it wasn't. It was still considered the norm. There's not the locker storage that you have today in today's tourers at all. But people didn't take much away with them. But I just love this table and this set, because Chris told me before that he actually got these given with the caravan. So this is probably a good 40 odd years old, the crockery itself. Well, can you imagine it? Mum and dad, the 2 children, you're going away for your 2 weeks summer holiday, you towed this behind your Austin 1100 or whatever, and it's an adventure. It's a time when sites didn't have a mains, electrics, but some of them barely had showers. But it was fun. It was great fun. The hitting of the gas lamps at night, and just the general feel of how caravanning really was. You can see the seats that are still pretty original. They've still got some support, even with me on them. But this was a great way of going away on a family holiday. So you can see why caravanning became so popular. The kitchen is quite simple, but I'm going to have a quick look at that in a moment. This, of course, is your wardrobe. And again, okay, it's not overly big, but back in the day, 4 of you would have found that quite adequate. This would make up into a double bed. And this at the front would be, which is a settee sindel, would also have a bunk above it. So the kids would sleep here, mum and dad would sleep here. You would still just have enough room to get to that loo. But I'm going to show you the kitchen area, because the kitchen, again, by today's standards, obviously is a lot more basic, and you'd expect that. But back in the day, again, it was very practical, and again, it was the standard norm. And it's surprisingly got quite a lot of storage too. So let's have a quick look at the kitchen, and then I'll give you a little summary what I think about this tourer, because it really is a real gem. Chris is one lucky guy having this van. Well, here we are at the kitchen, but that's what I've just found. This rather splendid Caravan Club pennant, because when you're in the Caravan Club, you could have that hung in your window or displayed on the van roof with a little pennant mast there. Now, Chris got this from his next door neighbour, Roger, who actually had a VW camper van in 1973 and had that in his window, because most club members would have done that. I can remember that with my parents. But it's not faded, it's like new, but that's great. It's just a nice little bit of extra nostalgia. Right, I'll put that down there. Let's get across this kitchen. Right, big window here, another gas light up here. The sink, not stainless steel, it's plastic. It's a plastic sink with drainer. Stainless steel sinks didn't come in until the early 70s. Of course, that pops down, so you've got your worktop. And what's this? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's a water pump. Now, the Cygnet didn't come with it as standard, and as many owners would have done then with caravans that didn't have things fitted as standard, like things like a gas tap for your gas fire. Yeah, believe it or not, a gas tap in your floor. Water pumps also weren't fitted. So this is a genuine whale hand pump. Cold water only. You'd have had your water container outside, as you do today, and then you'd have had to... They also did foot pumps as well, but this was probably just dates from about the same year as the Caravan actually. Anyway, storage under here, these slide, and of course you've got locker space over here for your crockery. They slide across. 2-burner hob with grill, and look at this kettle. That is the original kettle that the couple used with the Caravan. Now you may say, that's a bit of a fancy handle on there. Well, apparently the owner burnt his fingers one day, so he decided to do a bit of a DIY and he put string round. Problem solved. No health and safety back then. So that's your kitchen, and you'd have made very, very simple meals. But hey, that's what Caravan was about. It was very simple. It was a simple way of life. It was a simple way of a holiday. The kids only came in when they were hungry. They soon made friends with other kids on the site. I did many a time with my parents. And this takes me back to when caravanning was very, very different. Although today's modern caravans still basically go back to this period. So, what can I say? Well, Chris has got a splendid van here, and you don't come across these type of things very often at all. And the good thing is, Chris is very sympathetic to the classic element of the Cygnet, because he's keeping everything as original as he can. And does he use it? Well, I know he has used it now and again, and he takes it to his classic car rallies, and he's hoping to also take it to the 2019 November Classic Cars Show. So if you're down there, keep an eye out for Chris's Cygnet 9. Right, well, I'm going to go, but thank you for watching the video, and hopefully I'm going to be looking at some more classic caravans in the future. But for now, do you know what? I think I might transport myself back to 1969 and make myself a broom.